right, welcome to Hit and Sit Show number 8. Our panel this week is going to be Jason Magnum, who's a slugger for Team Monsta, who's the #1 team in the computer rankings that came out today. He swings the DeMarini. Over here we have Josh Kirsten, center fielder for MPT. He swings Suncoast. Our new guest this week is Brandon Traylor, pitcher / super utility guy for Bay Area Legends. He's swinging Suncoast also. And then we have last minute fill in Eric McCarthy. Eric's a pitcher, super fan of the conference, and he creates the agenda for the Hit and Sit show each week. He's filling in last minute for Joel Sanchez, whose birthday is today, and he had an emergency, he had to go. And then also Justin Mucciarelli's on his way to the duel, so he couldn't make it. And our normal host, David Garland, is moving into a new house. So congratulations. He's got a lot of stress going on there before the duel. One piece of news before we get started. I did hear Rock Run is going to stay B, so it'll be the first B team to ever make the major. Kind of an unprecedented thing. Usually B teams are told they have to play A if they make the major. So we're going to move right into Seattle and Michigan major. Brandon Traylor is going to tell us a little bit about how Seattle went because he was the only guy there. You guys played in Seattle Duel #1. You played Cheap Suits. You beat them. You played Rosmondo and Proton. And then Duel #2, you played LNS, Glass, Proton again, and Classic Glass. Looks like you guys are about 500 on the weekend. Tell us a little bit about how the weekend went and who you guys played and anything interesting that happened out there.
Weekend was good. It was the hottest weekend in Seattle history for us. You know, like usually we go down there, the weather is perfect. That weekend it was like almost 100 degrees with humidity, and then at nighttime all the bugs came out. It was crazy out there, but
Cincinnati type bugs or no?
Nah, just all mosquitoes. It was like all mosquitoes. Cincinnati had them. I don't know what they had in Cincinnati, but that was crazy out there. Yeah. Everyone kind of knew going into that tournament, Resi was going to take both duels. I don't know if they struggled at all, especially when we got to the big fields. I know Straight Play gave them a run, but they gave them a run. That's about it. Other than that, Resi did their thing. Us, we did go 500 on the weekend, 2-2 in both duels. Ended up taking 5th in both duels, I believe, and that was terrible to us. But I mean, it happens. This year we've been kind of a lot of 2-2s, and finally broke through in Cincinnati, which was fun and good for our team. But now, you know, this duel coming up, that's going to be the challenge maker for sure for us. We're going to see what we're really made of. Last big tournament kind of the year.
How did the ball fly out there? Was it the DV for the first tournament? It looked like the home runs were down.
Yeah, for the first one it was the DVs, and they were not flying unless it was nighttime, of course. I don't know, these past since the Smoky, it's been terrible for us, you know. In my opinion, it's been bad, but I don't know. I don't even know why we changed the balls up, y'all. What happened with that?
No, I think it's a production issue with that batch of balls. But you played Proton a couple of times, and they've had a dominating record against AA teams this year. Would you say they're the best AA, or is it competitive edge? Is it Classic Glass?
Nah, honestly,
play them up front and personal. How good are they?
Proton is a really good team. To me, they're trash as hell, honestly, but they're still good. They're my boys and stuff, but you know, they get on a little roll sometimes. Other than that, I feel like the best AA team this year is Rock Run. They're probably the best AA-B team this year, but it's up in the air for the AA. I know that for a fact for Worlds. Like Proton is killing it. So is Competitive Edge. But as soon as Worlds comes, we're going to see, you know, what everyone's really talking about, of course.
Right. And a couple of things. Proton is not coming to Evansville. So they're automatically going to drop from fourth to like seventh, I think, in the
Oof.
points. Possibly worth, but I think they're going to end up seventh. Uh, Jason, Josh, and Eric, same question to all of you guys. How was your off weekends? You've been off for a while. Monsta won the Smoky. MPT finished third or fourth.
Fourth.
I don't know. We had a show after that, but what'd you guys do on your off weekend? Did you follow the Seattle and Michigan tournaments at all? Give me some feedback on that, Jason.
All right. Well, everybody kind of knows me, knows I never really have an off weekend. My daughter's like the number one 14-year-old fighter in the country. So we're always flying around looking for some action. Shout out to her. She won the kickboxing championship in Miami last weekend. And then
Nice.
this weekend was actually a real off weekend. And I got to give thanks to Delta. I was on the plane for 45 minutes, headed up to Virginia to play with my Kilman's team. Congratulations to them on winning the 40 national championship up there, whatever it was. But I was on the plane for 45 minutes and Delta canceled and kicked it. So I was like, you know what, I'm going home. And got me a workout in and went and seen the local USSSA state tournament for the local guys. And I think they had like 51 teams out there. 35 of them were rec division, so shout out to the wiffle ball champion this year, the Georgia State Championship. And I don't really watch softball as far as the conference goes on my off weekends. I enjoy it, just enjoy my own personal time. Hell, y'all know I don't even look at the brackets. I choose somebody that's playing us in the first round to win. So I just want to know what time we got to get up early Saturday morning and what time we got to get to work. And I wasn't gonna watch Seattle. Everybody in their mama knew Resmondo was gonna go up there and probably do their thing. No disrespect to nobody, but I mean, how could you beat that team on that big field? That Seattle Unlimited tournament, the second duel is the biggest field in the country. It's like 410, 335 down the corners. So they went up there and did what they were supposed to do. So I guess congratulations them on the win. And that was pretty much how my weekend went.
Yeah, the field up there they use for the second duel in Seattle is almost identical size to the stadium in Florida. So it is a little bit of a test there. Josh, what'd you do on your weekend off? Did you follow the conference at all, or what'd you do?
Yeah, so a lot of family stuff for me, a little boring. We had my nephew's first birthday this past weekend, and prior to that, just more family stuff, but which is nice to fit in, especially with our hectic schedules. In regards to following the tournaments, yeah, I try to at least follow brackets, see who's doing what, if there are any upsets, that kind of thing. Try to watch the live stream in Seattle with good buddies on Bay Area and Proton and whatnot. Just had some issues there with cameras and whatnot, but I was definitely watching the bracket. I tell you, Traylor, I got to ask you, man. So you played in Michigan. I only saw a bracket score. I didn't watch any of the games in Michigan, but I saw Precision score 30 in their first game and then one run in the second game.
So,
what was going on?
So the show field, I should say, the wind was blowing straight in on that field for some reason. And then on the other fields, it was like a side wind or blowing straight out. So every time a power hitting team was on the other fields, we was putting up runs, like 25 plus runs. As soon as all of us got to that damn show field, except Rock Run, we couldn't even scratch double digits for us, because everyone was trying to hit it. The shit was just getting blown back. Or you got the super green team that's over there diving everywhere, catching all these damn balls. So that's what. And then the balls, of course, were soft as hell. It felt like. So it wasn't going on the show field. So anytime you seen a low score, it was because we was on the show field.
It's gonna be really interesting just with like those balls. If those balls make it to Florida for the A and the AA Worlds, that's gonna make things really interesting. Very boring, but really interesting.
I think they're trying to use up the DV batches before Florida, is what I heard. But to Eric's a big fan of the conference. He makes the agenda. So 2 questions to Eric. Is the kind of game we're seeing with the DV balls, we actually had a game a winner's bracket final game in Michigan with zero over the fence home runs between Rock Run and Cash House. Brandon's right. I checked the wind on my phone all day long. It was 6 to 12 miles per hour, but it really felt more, it felt like maybe up higher. It was more like 18 miles an hour because it just, it killed those balls. They were the DV balls. It was 90 degrees. So my question to Eric, is it fun to watch this style of ball, or do you want the old Pro M back?
I'm probably a little different than everybody else here because I saw Josh and Magnum shaking their heads and stuff like that. You know, personally, I don't mind it at all. There isn't as many home runs, there isn't as many missiles, but for some reason it seems to even up the game a little bit and create a little bit more parity. So as someone that's not playing in the game, doesn't have to hit the balls, you know, I personally don't mind watching that brand of softball at all, and would actually say I almost enjoy it more than watching guys just, you know, there's not that there's a lot of small guys in the conference, but there are some smaller guys in the conference, and watching, you know, some little guy hit the ball 800 miles an hour at somebody, you know, to me isn't as fun. So I prefer the softer ball. And I just wanted to point out too, Rismondo did not run through that whole thing. Proton had a 12-run lead in the 7th inning at Seattle there that Jose Flores and the boys there just couldn't hang on to because Rismondo did what Rismondo does. So, but yeah.
Rismondo walked them down big time, double digits in the last inning to prevent an if game. Obviously, there would have been an if game. Quick question to the rest of the panel. Like the consistency of the DV ball we've talked about before, where it almost like if you hit it more than once, it's out of shape. How do you think it's going to play out in Evansville? It looks like it's a high of 82 to 84 degrees, which means cooler in the mornings, cooler in the evenings. The fences are 300 down the lines, 315 to center in Evansville. It's Deaconess Park. They just made it all turf. Jason, what do you think? What do you think about the scoring this weekend? We'll get into later who's going to be the favorites and who's our picks, but what do you think about the games, the ball, where we are right now in the conference?
I think they need to go find a dumpster that's behind every major store or anywhere, and they just get rid of them. Like, I mean, I can't keep saying this, but it's terrible because not to beat on ASA, but nobody likes ASA. Nobody watches it. The game is dead. It's because they dumb the balls in the game down. Softball has always been a hitter's game. And the defense is so good, the pitching's so good, and 90% of we play on turf. Like, you can hit that ball 1,000 miles an hour at Traylor or any infielder, and if it's at them, they're going to eat it up every time. You know, you don't get no bad bounces. So now you bring in this wiffle ball or this sock, and then you expect people, you know, so it's just slow. Baseball is terrible to watch, and you just don't want to put softball there. But to Evansville, I think it's going to, I didn't look at the temperatures, but 80 degrees, it depends on the humidity. Like, the ball should, you know, we should put up a bunch of runs and it should be good. But in these summer months, if you got humidity, that ball, it's just terrible in my eyes in every aspect of the game.
All right, Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, the other thing that they're going to have to watch out for is how are they not necessarily storing, but are they leaving these balls on the turf? Because this issue that we have with Columbus, Ohio, too, at Berliner, right? Like, if we let those balls bake, even though it's only going to be a high of 80 or 79, whatever it is, we know that that turf gets warmer. So if those balls, those buckets of balls sit on the turf, it's going to make them worse too. But I don't know. I guess wind could be a factor again, right? So if you find a field that's wind's blowing straight in, that's certainly going to lower the scores. At the major level, AA level, most of these guys, if the wind's neutral or blowing out, I think you're going to see plenty of high scoring games, even with these balls. At the end of the day, it's kind of like hitting a hot dot. The ball still go. You just can't miss it, right? You gotta get the barrel for it to go. It is what it is. I don't love it either. I think I agree with Jay. I'd rather hit a consistent ball. The most consistent ball I've hit is probably the Gold Dot Extreme that a couple other organizations use, but I love just a consistent. At the end of the day, like, it's going to be good. It's going to be consistent in the hot weather. Sure, is it going to get a little harder at night in the evenings? Any ball is going to, for the most part, if it gets cool, once it cools down, right? But something that just we know what it's going to do. Is something that I know USSSA is working on and continue to work on. It's not like they want these to be bad. So it is what it is for right now.
Right. Brandon, a quick question to you in Michigan.
Mhm.
Do you pay attention to the guy that hits before you and how the ball sounds and comes off the bat and then change the way you're going to swing? Or do you just go with your game?
Honestly, this year I've been just trying to hit tank, so I can care less what they trying to do. Only because we get 14, they put me in the 3 spot now, so I'm like, okay, I gotta try to hit these tanks now. But I do pay attention throughout the game, like especially when I was pitching, I was like, okay, this ball is getting softer, and every time they threw a newer one in, as soon as it was hit once, that thing was it was like a pillow after that, you know. So I do, in a way, pay attention. So, like I had Toby in front of me in Michigan, and he was launching some of them balls. So I was like, okay, I get a new one now, and I'm gonna try to do the same thing basically because I know it will fly. Yeah, and like I said, the only time it didn't was on that show field and just popping that thing straight up. So.
All right, we're going to head to our first commercial. When we come back, we're going to talk point standings and who's going to make the major. We'll be right back.
Let's get hotter and hotter. Pitchers are left to fend for themselves. Now, the technology that defends batters and catchers is being used to defend softball pitchers. The Viper Pitcher's Helmet by Schutt is the only NOXI certified pitcher's helmet on the market, making this the safest helmet in the game. Better visibility and protection, comfortable fit, complete head coverage, 1-year warranty. Get your Viper Pitcher's Helmet only at smashitsports.com. Win the game before you ever step on the field. Shop smashitsports.com for all your baseball and softball needs.
All right, we're back with Hit and Sit show number 8. Josh, Kirsten, Jason Magnum, Brandon, Traylor, DW, and Eric McCarthy. We're going to talk point standings. The way the point standings work for Evansville, it's a special point tournament, 180 points plus 4 times the number of conference teams. Now, that was 40 a couple weeks ago. It's now down to 37 conference teams, which is still right there. It might be a record number of teams at one event. So it's going to be 328 points to the winner. Some team like Classic Glass won that. I mean, and then had a good second duel. They could jump 5 spots in the points, I think. So my question to the panel is: there's these special 180 point tournaments in Portland, Seattle duel, Michigan, and now Evansville duel. So the question is, should there be 180 point special tournaments, or should all the tournaments be scored the same? And the second question is going to be, pick a team that's in the top 18 in the major, like they're headed for the major World Series, that's going to drop out, and pick a team that's outside the top 18 that you think is going to jump in. So there's 3 questions there. Should there be 180 point special tournaments? Who's going to drop out of the top 18? Who's going to get into the top 18? And you can't pick Precision. Precision has 6 tournaments played. We know that just by showing up in Evansville, that's going to jump them into the 18. So try to pick somebody else. But we'll go to Josh first.
Still my pick. All right, got to rethink this one. Yeah, I do like the special point tournaments, and for the most part, that's by design, right? So a lot of them will be out in the West Coast to try to promote teams to go out to the West Coast and get more tournaments out there and get softball engaged out there. So I can appreciate that, and maybe some of these smaller events, right? Trying to kickstart Michigan again. I mean, for the longest time, Last Chance tournament was there in Sterling Heights. And since that ballpark's gone away, it's been non-existent in regards to Michigan. And Michigan used to have a huge softball community there, and still do. But they've got to find a way, and I think that's part of them trying to find the way is making it a special point tournament. So yeah, I'm okay with it. Not to mention it makes things interesting. Like you mentioned, DW, you could have a team win this like a Classic Glass or even ourselves an MPT and make huge jumps, right? We win this thing and some things happen up top, or if Resi, Monsta, Smash It don't have the tournaments they want to have, like you're talking a huge shift here with this tournament potential. So yeah, I do like it. Picking a team to drop out and jump in. I'm gonna say Chief Suits falls out, just being that they're the 18 seed. I'm gonna go with Prime Time. I think Prime Time can turn it on, depending on their schedule here. I think they can make some runs. Shoot, they made a run in Evansville last year. They beat us in the second round when I was with Dan Smith. They were up, and maybe they're up like 2 or 3 going in the last inning. Had 8 home runs to hit. These guys just started whacking it. And had a really good first Evansville duel. So they're liable to get hot and make a run and qualify for the major for sure.
Right. Same question to Eric. Eric, you follow the conference a lot in the points. What do you think?
I disagree with Josh here. I'm not a fan of the boosting up points for certain events. I understand what the purpose is, and and I do believe they do need to try to do something to maybe get more teams at more events at certain times, but I think with the 180 points, it's proven that it doesn't always draw in teams. I can't remember what was there, 7 conference teams in Michigan?
9, yeah.
Or 9, yeah. So, to me, that's not working totally, but I do agree with the concept and do think something needs to be done about it. Teams, man, well, he stole mine with Cheap Suits. That was my original go-to. And I hate to dog Joel here since he's not here, but I might have to take S&E here. Could see a tough weekend for them. I could see S&E falling out of it possibly and being another AA team in a really strong year that might not make the major here. Does Addictive count? Because Addictive's got 6 tournaments too, but they're scrappy.
Right. Addictive only has 6 tournaments, so their first tournament is going to jump them huge into the points. They're almost like Precision, to be honest. They're probably a lock to at least have a good shot at the top 18.
Okay, well, we'll exclude them, and right below them is Sports Reach. I think they're going to maybe get hot, turn it on here. They've been making some moves, doing some things, so my vote's going to go for Sports Reach showing up good twice and making the major.
All right. Yeah, you can pick the same teams as somebody else. We'll go to Jason. Jason, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say Prime Time because I love their team. I think their infield is amazing. And then, of course, Kirsten took it. Then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go with my boys out in Kentucky, Sports Reach. I love Robbie Spear and Mike Haney and them. So, yep, I seen the hat. I roll with them a lot and play the prison ball. So I'm definitely gonna go with Sports Reach getting in there. I think they get hot. Precision's a no-brainer. Todd Ankle's gonna have them dudes. They're gonna be ready. They play their best ball at the end of the year, man. You can't say enough about Todd and Rob. So Precision, shout out. I see Precision have a good weekend. And
about the 180 points, what do you think?
The 180. So I'm kind of torn. So this is my problem with the 180s. So it happened to us a couple years ago in Atlanta when I was Precision. No major team was there. Dan Smith's got all the money in the world. So at the last second, 3 or 4 days for the tournament, they put Atlanta on the schedule. Come down and we get second place. I know why Resmondo went up there for CD, rest in peace, Kristen Dowling. But, I mean, they went up there and did what they're supposed to do. But, like, if no other major teams there, it should be some kind of rule that one major team can't show up and eat the field up. I mean, that's my personal opinion. But, I mean, I could be wrong because, I mean, you got teams that struggle financially and they put certain tournaments on their list to have a chance to actually win it, boost their team's confidence and get it going. And then you got a major team show up and it sucks. Like I've been on that, on the lower team like Precision where we were real good and we could win tournaments. And then you got a major team come in and eat it up. So I'm opposed to it just because financially some teams can go in there and eat them extra points up and jump. And some teams really need it, need that confident booster and need to play like A and AA teams. So I don't really know. It just depends how they regulate it. I know you can't say you can't come to this tournament, but there's got to be some kind of ethnic with it. Okay, we're the only major team. Let's just because we got all the money in the world, let's just don't go and eat this tournament up.
Yeah, I think we've had that topic before where we all agree that we like to see an even amount of major teams or no major teams.
Mhm.
But in
Exactly.
Resmondo's defense, I think a bunch of major teams dropped out of Seattle, so can't really blame them. Brandon, on to you. The 180 points. Do you like it? You don't like it? Who do you think's in and out of the major?
It's good for the non-major teams, like y'all just said, like J Mac just said. Like it would be like with us, we enter these little backyard tournaments and just to try to win them, knowing there's no major teams in them. So as soon as a major team gets in, we're just like, oh damn, man, we gotta battle, which is fine. I mean, I'm not opposed to battling any team out there. It's just money wise, sponsor wise. I know Yoli or Joey, that's what he looks at when he's looking at these tournaments. Like, okay, I know for a fact these teams ain't gonna get in this one, so let's go down there as our team and try to win some. But it's up and down. Like I feel like it could go. It's good too, because now teams could get more points whether they take first, second, or top three. They're gonna get more points regardless. My pick was primetime as well. I don't know if LNS Glass is going to Evansville.
Yeah, they are.
They are going. So I know they could make a good run as well, just because they're a local Cali team. Those are all my boys and stuff. So I'm gonna go with them making the top 18 and out. I don't even know who. I'm gonna say. I don't even know who will be out. I can't say Cheap Suits because they're my boys.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
Seminoles,
Balfour.
Premier, S&E, Anarchy, Cheap Suit.
I'm gonna say Balfour because they got Zach Ross on there, and he just be talking a lot. I love him to death, but yeah, I'm gonna say Balfour.
All right, yeah, I'm against the 180 points. I don't like it. I would like to see second place get an extra 20 points if they were the undefeated team and lost, get an extra 20, or if they force an if game, get an extra 20, because that 40 point is a huge. If you get rid of the 180s, the 40-point difference is a lot. And I think winning an extra game should get you that extra 20 points. I think Bob Ford, Seminoles, Forwith, Anarchy, and Cheap Suits are all in trouble. I think Precision, Prime Time, Cut 4, and Addictive. Maybe TG Brand, outside chance of TG Brand. I'm not sure about that one. We're going to head to commercial. When we come back, we're going to talk about who's the favorite to win the batting title.
While bats get hotter and hotter, pitchers are left to fend for themselves. Now, the technology that defends batters and catchers is being used to defend softball pitchers. The Viper Pitcher's Helmet by Schutt is the only NOXI-certified pitcher's helmet on the market, making this the safest helmet in the game. Better visibility and protection, comfortable fit, complete head coverage, 1-year warranty. Get your Viper Pitcher's Helmet only at smashitsports.com. Win the game before you ever step on the field. Shop smashitsports.com for all your baseball and softball needs.
All right, we're back with the Hit and Sit show. We're going to take on the topic of who's going to win the batting title quickly. And should the number of at-bats to qualify for the batting title, which is currently 180, should that be raised? It's always been 180, and if you remember back when the conference started in 2006, there was only 15 or 16 conference teams. The tournaments were all smaller. They played less games. 180 at-bats was a lot of at-bats. But these days, guys are getting 350 at-bats. And in the top 15 here, the 15 guys that have a shot at the batting title, a lot of them aren't even at the 180 mark yet. And that's not because their teams didn't play a lot of games. It's because like Daniel Caton started late in the season. Brandon Streets has played for Anarchy, and they just haven't played that many games. So Brandon Streets leads at 843. Those stats are not updated from this past weekend, but I don't think he went down because he was flicking them out on those back fields, Brandon. He didn't have to play on the main field. So my question, we'll go with Brandon Traylor first. Who do you think is going to win the batting title? Streets has a 48-point lead on Daniel Caton. Neither of them have enough at bats, and then you got the regulars like Riley, Reiner, Kyle Pearson that are up there.
Okay. So to be honest with you, I got Streets went like 1 for 5 against me, so I'm gonna just take credit on that one.
The one that he must have hit. He hit a home run when I was watching.
It was a home run. Yep. But anywho, if he did have more at bats, I definitely would be way more impressed than what he's showing right now. Not knocking him in any way. He's killing it this year, especially with these balls. He's still flicking them like it's nothing. Yeah, if he had more at bats, I'll definitely have him as the top. And then Bama will fall off. He's terrible. He's one of the worst players in the league. So that's all I gotta say about him.
He'll crack under the pressure.
Yeah, he'll definitely crack under. Trust me, I've seen it. So Raymond, he's terrible. Josh Riley, he has over 200 and some at bats, still over 750. I think Josh Riley's going to win it again.
Once he was off, but he had like 100 plus more bats than the guy that Flip won. Congratulations to Flip, but I mean Riley, man, I want to say Bama because I'm gonna tell you, like, I know Bama's terrible, like Traylor said, but that dude's a gamer. People don't know this, but he got hit in the eye at the World Series, and I told him to come to the hotel, and I popped the razor open, and that man let me cut his eye wide open to get the drainage out so he can play in the next. I got the video, man. Bama, I love Bama. I think if Bama gets enough at bats this weekend, which he should, I'm gonna say Bama steals it from Riley, man. But that's my brother, and I love Riley, and I still think he's the best hitter in the game. But I'm telling you, Bama's hungry, man. This dude is on fire. So
yeah,
a little backstory. We played at Cincinnati. I don't know how he didn't make many outs at all. Like, he was on it, and people were saying just hit it out, Bama, and he was like, nah, and he was just putting it through the 3-4 hole. He put it where he wanted, when he wanted, how he wanted. He could have took the free ride, hit the home run, and so I got Bama just edging out Josh Riley for the batting title.
Yeah.
Josh, same question with the 180 at bat. Should it be raised? And who's your pick to win?
Yeah, it's got to be raised. I mean, the last 2 years you got Riley's coming into this tournament, this duel. If they have a good tournament, I mean, he's going to be at 350 at bats by the end of this weekend. And so he was at, I think, again, 350 to 400 at bats last year. He has the most at bats the last few years, and he's put up these crazy, ridiculous numbers. And there's nothing taken away from Streets and from Bama. Like, they're doing what they're doing with what they can do, right? But you're still punishing the guy who's got 400 at bats, comparing his numbers to somebody who has a minimum of 180, or say 190 to 200, right? So like we're not comparing apples to apples there. I tend to agree. So with the rules in place as of this year, at a minimum of 180, I do think Bam is going to get it. I think he'll get a good amount of at bats this weekend, and I'm not sure what else is on the schedule for him, but I'm sure he'll get over 180 mark, and I see him taking that one home.
Right, Jason. Do you have KC on the schedule?
Nope. I think we're taking that off from everything I'm hearing. Everybody's taking it off, so I know we'll take it off. All so right. This is it. This is probably it for us this weekend until the major.
So that's
gonna be tough then. Never mind.
He may not make the 180 then. Eric, what's your thoughts on who's going to win the batting title and the number of at bats to qualify?
Number at bats, I do think it needs to be raised, but right now I think it's hard to call. If Streets makes the amount of at bats, you know, that is what the rule is. Right now it is 180 at bats, and none of that is his fault. Just from watching Streets closely, just because I got friends on that Anarchy team and stuff. I grew up with some of them in upstate New York. You know, Streets is locked in. I think Streets is literally as good as anybody in the conference right now, regardless of him playing on the A team and regardless of him having half the at bats. That guy is a savage. He did it last year too. I don't remember what his numbers were, but I know he was way over 7. I think over 750. And even the power, you know, like he's not just a guy that's hitting a ton of home runs and raising his OBP that way. Like that dude can hit it. You know, I mean, he's awesome. I got nothing bad to say about him. I do think it needs to be raised, but I think Streets wins it, and I think he deserves the title.
Yeah, I agree. I think it needs to be raised to 220, 225, something like that. And I think Streets is going to get there. I believe they were asking questions about KC if the stats count, because originally it was supposed to be the conference championship. The stats do count for KC. I think they're going to add it if he needs the at-bats, because I think of the, you know, it's to promote anarchy, and he swings the Streets bat. I got a nice picture of him this week, so that when I do the league leaders, I can put up a new picture. But
I have it is Kansas City is on the schedule for them right now, because I have their schedule in front of me.
Okay, so he should get enough at bats unless they went 0-4 this week and 0-2 the following, which isn't going to happen. So the last question as we wrap up the show is going to be, who wins the duels this weekend? If you have access to the bracket, take a look. If you're Magnum, just pick Sports Read. We'll go to Magnum first. Who's your pick to win Evansville and a record number of points? 328, I believe.
Monsta and Monsta. Let's get it now.
Okay. Who are you going to play in the final?
Quit cheating.
Let me see. I think, man, I'm going to say I'm just feeling it. I think Precision's going to make a run. They're going to win one of these duels, man. I just know how my boys work. And I think I'm gonna go with a sleeper. I'm gonna go with Precision, winning one, and you know, playing us both times.
Well, you play them game 2, by the way.
I
said somebody's got to come through the loser bracket. You know what I'm saying?
That's a cheap loser bracket. But last year, remember, it was My Auto Jack, and the top 8 team in the country finished, or they were the winners bracket champ. And MPT lost their first game, came all the way through. I think Josh and double dipped them. And then in the second tournament, Dan Smith just annihilated everybody, I think.
Yep.
Eric, who's your picks this week?
What the preview isn't out. Is it 300-foot fences here, or what are they using?
Yeah, so it's 300 down the lines, 315 to center, and I believe it's the Dudley Pro-Am with the DV. Probably the DV code.
First major, I'm going. I think Monsta's going to come in hot. They're going to take the first one, and then second one, I'm going to go with a little wild card here. I think somebody like Competitive Edge is going to make a crazy run. You know, maybe all the major teams are tired. There's a lot of good teams here. There's been a lot of good teams beating teams above them. So give me Competitive Edge in Duel 2 and Monsta in Duel 1.
All right. Josh, who do you got?
Yeah,
obviously MPT, but who are you playing in the championship?
Everyone's playing. Jays, you're playing for second, bub. Yeah, I think we'll play. I see Monsta play us playing as Monsta for one, which I would firmly appreciate. And then yeah, I mean, I think Competitive Edge make a run. They got enough power. They got enough. They got a good game, and they're gonna lose to us, but they got a good game for sure.
Yeah. Is everybody healthy on MPT and Monsta?
Yeah, we're here. We're healthy, fully healthy.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I think everyone's good.
Bitzak's feeling good.
Yeah, his boo-boo healed, you know, and Lloyd got over his common cold, and we're geared up. We're ready.
All right, Brandon, what do you got this weekend? Who do you think's gonna win?
Honestly, for the first one, I'm gonna say Monsta takes that one. I've been talking to Bama every day, and that boy's ready, and he's saying he's gearing up getting all the guys ready. So I think they're going to make a good run in the first one. And then honestly, in the second one, I'm going to say MPT because y'all need it. You know, y'all like this. It's the end of the year, and this is the time for MPT to show what they want to do for the year. Like if they really want to fight for that major, this will be the tournament to do it. So I'm gonna say Monsta and MPT.
Yeah, I think this tournament to me is the greatest collection of teams that's ever, probably in the last 20 years, that's ever played on a 300-foot facility. So I'm kind of terming this the 300-foot worlds right here. But the pick'em, you can still play the pick'em on softballcenter.com. I picked Monster to win, Smash it 2, Competitive Edge 3, Rismondo 4, MPT and S&E 5th. But you're right, MPT's got a lot more to gain than some of the other teams. So hopefully they come in a little more focused. Just to wrap up, Hit and Sit Show 8. Thanks for joining us. We'll go around the room real quick and just not necessarily a shout out or anything, but any last thoughts about the upcoming tournament, Seattle, Michigan, Rock Run. What do you got, Josh?
Yeah, so just a quick shout out to all the sponsors, softball sponsors. Appreciate everything. Thank you for doing what you do and allowing us to play this game and be kids for a little bit longer. Shout out to Rock Run for all the success they've had. And I've got no problem with them staying B and doing their thing, and love watching them play. Good for those kids. They work hard. And so, yeah, that's what I mean. Shout out Suncoast, Swing Suncoast.
Suncoast. Jason.
I want to give a shout out to Joey Daly. This is his muscular dystrophy hat that DeMarini did a special bat for him. He signed in one of his bats and he sent it to me. I'm gonna return the favor. So shout out to Joey. About Rock Run, I mean, I guess they're the best B team season since Precision did it that year and was gonna win the A and B, right? So I mean, it's happened before. Hey, y'all do y'all's thing. Y'all go down there and win at all costs. And congratulations to them. And appreciate everybody for having me on here. Thank you.
An interesting note, they will probably be the A World #1 seed as well after they're done with the B. So I'm not so sure the #1 seed should be a B team, but it is what it is.
I agree with you on that.
Brandon, what do you got for last thought?
Shout out Yoli Gonzalez. He does everything for us for Bay Area Legends, and love the organization, love him. That's one of my best friends of all time. Suncoast, thank you guys for everything. Shout out to Suncoast. Rock Run, keep making that run, man. You guys are gonna shock the world when at World, so can't wait to see that happen. Even though we're gonna beat the brakes off of y'all this weekend if it makes it that second game. So other than that, yeah, thank you guys for having me, man. It was fun.
All right, thanks for coming on at the last minute. I appreciate it. Eric, what do you got?
Final thought, I'll stick with the Rock Run theme. They would be the #1 seed in A. They did build the roster right, but let's call a spade here. That's an A team. Just want to say thank you, DW, for having me on. And, for a guy like me, this was really fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. We're talking last minute, like he literally had 20 minutes. I think we're going to get Andy Purcell as a last-minute fill-in because he's there at USSSA if we need one in the future. Happy birthday again to Joel Sanchez.
Yep, happy birthday, Joel.
David Garland for the new house. We really do need to get together for a hit and sit picture at Evansville because everyone should be there. I messed up during the TG brand Rock Run condensed game. I called couple of their positions wrong. The second baseman's Marcus Garner, left fielder's Jerron Hudson, and the center fielder's Logan Elmore. I screwed it up the whole game. I apologize. Check out the content on conferenceussa.com. The USSSA Live YouTube channel has will have 3 condensed games from Michigan up there and a whole bunch of content from Evansville this week. Safe travels to you guys. Thanks to Bernie behind the scenes producing this show and Eric for the agenda each week. I know he spends a lot of time on that, which saves me. So thanks for coming on, guys. We'll see you in Evansville and good luck.
All right, y'all.